Start game now. The summer-loving Bob the Lobster is back because he's brought with him another version of Summer Games, this time for the Atari 7800 Pro system. And looking at the box, evidently it's about an athletic ghost named Greg who's absolutely gigantic, and he really likes his 3 gold medals, so he has 4 smaller ghosts protecting him. They're all blue, including one who shoots, one who dives, one who scares you away with gymnastics, and one who has a sunburst promo for his head. Interesting. Let's take Summer Games, the Super Game cartridge. Let's go ahead and pop it into our Atari 7800 and find out how it plays today. Let's go to the game. Summer Games was published by Atari and carries a copyright year of 1987, and it is based on the 1984 Epyx computer game. It is a collection of 6 Summer Olympic-style games for 1 to 8 players, which can either pass a single joystick or can use 2 joysticks for 2 of the players in some of the events such as running and swimming. When you start the game, each player enters their name and selects which of the 12 countries they want to represent, including the wonderful fictional country of Atari. Have you pledged allegiance to Atari today? You can then pick whether you want to compete in all the events, just certain events, practice an event, or watch the opening ceremonies again. If you compete in all 6 events, the game goes through a specific order. The first event is diving. You perform 4 different dives: forward, backward, reverse, and inward. You press the button to start your dive and use the joystick to move as you approach the water. You press right for a fast full tuck, down for the not quite as fast pike position, left for the slower half pike position, and up for the layout position, which you use to straighten yourself out. You get up to 10 points for how straight you enter the water and up to 4.1 points for the difficulty of the dive you did. This event has quite a bit of a learning curve to it and moves very fast. Often I felt like my results were more luck than anything else, even though I did improve my score with time. This was a moderately entertaining event. The 4x400 meter relay is next. You move the joystick right to start running and try to time it to avoid a false start. Once you are running, you select your speed by pressing right to sprint, and you keep your joystick center for normal and left to slow coast. Each runner has a unique amount of energy, and you can see your energy on the bar below. Running out of energy will cause you to go really slow. When you are close enough to the next runner, you press the button to pass the baton. This was an okay event, but I did appreciate the unique control scheme. The third event is the 100-meter dash. Once it begins, you either jiggle the joystick up and down or left and right to increase your speed. I was never a fan of this style of controls, so I didn't really like this event. Gymnastics is the 4th event. You press the button to start running and again to jump on the springboard. From the springboard to the horse, you hold left or right to do a body twist. You then press the button to push off of the horse. In the air, you press up for a fast rotation, center the joystick for medium, and press down for a slow rotation, which you need to land. If you land slightly off center, you can use the joystick to straighten up. This event reminded me a lot of the diving event, but I had a really hard time getting used to the controls. Despite this, I did enjoy the event a little bit. The 5th event is the Freestyle Relay. You press right to dive in, but you must time it so you don't false start. When swimming, you press the button as the swimmer's hand enters the water, although it was hard to feel that this was working for me. Interestingly enough, the 2600 version actually did a better job of making you feel like you were going faster when you correctly press the button. When you get to the right side of the pool, you press left to go underwater and kick off the wall. When you approach the next relayer, you press right to have them enter the water, but going too soon will lose you time. I really didn't care much for this event. The final event is a 100-meter freestyle. It plays just like the previous swimming event, but since there is only one swimmer, it is thankfully shorter. Graphically speaking, I thought the graphics were very well done, and I thought the animation of the gymnast herself was pretty good for the 7800. However, I thought a closing ceremony would have been nice. The music and sound were also well done, although they didn't really blow me away. And yeah, this is a family-friendly game. On eBay, there were barely any copies. All I could find was one loose copy that sold for $10, and that included shipping. So would I recommend Summer Games? Well, while I thought the game was very well made, I kind of found it boring. None of the events really drew me in, and I actually would rather play the 2600 version, which has skeet shooting, hurdles, and rowing, all of which I enjoyed more than any of the events on the 7800 version. I hear a lot of 7800 owners praise this game, so if you're nostalgic for it, check it out. But for others, I would go with the 2600 version instead. So where am I going to rank it? Well, it's better than Water Ski, which is at number 20, and Tank Command at 19, the Froggo games. But I actually like Pole Position more at 18, so I'm going to make Summer Games my new number 19 game. Summer Games, I'd actually recommend the 2600 version instead. If you enjoy the Atari 7800, be sure to check out my podcast, the Atari 7800 Game by Game Podcast. This was covered in episode 13, along with Super Huey. And if you enjoyed this video, please click the like and subscribe buttons, and be sure to check out my other videos with many others covering Sega, Nintendo, Atari, and more. Thank you guys for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode of The Nose for Gamer. Take care, everybody.